What is up, guys? It's your girl Shy, and I'm back again with another YouTube video for the gang. Hey y'all, I am back. I didn't let y'all wait. I came back within the next 2 weeks. I literally just dropped a video less than 2 weeks ago, and I'm coming back already. I feel like y'all should subscribe. Like, I'm really on my grind. Don't worry. I'm about to be extra on my grind. Like, I'm about to be dropping a video every week. Don't hold me to it. Don't do that. But I'm going to try. So let me address a few things. If y'all hear my voice sound a little different, I have a cold, so it will chip in and out. Y'all will hear me sound like a big grown tractor in a couple seconds. And then y'all will hear me go back to normal. You know, I just have a little cold, recovering, you know, praise God, we recovering. But, yeah, another thing I want to address, thank you guys for watching my last story time. Oh. Literally, my last story time got 2,000 plus views. It's been posted for less than 2 weeks, and it's 2,000 plus views. And the story time before that got 3,000 plus views. So, y'all really messing with a kid. You like me? You like me for real. I feel like if you come in and watching, you should just subscribe. But that's just me. Hey. Y'all like subscribe. What first, I'm not talking to my subbies, okay? I'm talking to the people who the subscribe button is still red right now. Babe, if you're coming here and watching my story times, obviously you're liking my content. And I just feel like it just gives, it just gives a weird vibes if you're not subscribing, because you're liking my content. Why not support me, babe? Literally, let me get that YouTube check. Just do it for me. Like, you know, even though it's not about the money. But I actually really mess with y'all, but you know, your girl gotta pay her bills. Rent ain't cheap. So please do me a favor. Click that subscribe button and enjoy my content, because I'm really telling y'all my business, girl. I'm telling y'all all my business. So do me a favor and subscribe, okay? But anyways, yes, guys, I am back with another story time, giving y'all the chisme, the drama, you know. But on a more serious note, I just want to address this real quick. Guys, I know there's a lot going on in the world right now. Hopefully this video can help to take your mind off things, off stress. But I know there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of things that we need to be paying attention to with the things happening in Palestine. And I hope I said that right, Palestine and Congo. There is a lot of TikTok filters that you can use. You can listen to, you can, not only filters, you can play songs that the contributions to those filters and those songs will all be donated to Congo and Palestine. So if you aren't aware of what's going on in the world right now, just know it's a lot. Just, you know, you can post the videos on private. Just make sure it's, I believe it has to be at least 15 seconds. And, you know, let's just help out as much as we can. A little goes a long way. So yes, on a more funner note, I hope this video can take you guys' minds off all the stress that's going on and get into the drama, because people be trying me. And I promise y'all, I'm not the one to try. They don't want these hands. They don't want these hands, but they be trying me. So let me tell y'all how these people be trying me. So this story time is gonna be about, essentially, it's really about my first friendship heartbreak. Is it? Yeah, my first like friendship heartbreak. I feel like, yeah, that's I've only ever had like 2 friendship heartbreak, but yeah, this is the first one that happened. And I'm gonna tell y'all all the events leading up to when I had to cut this girl off, because she was just like, literally, now that I'm out of the situation, I could see how bad that friendship was for me and how not really genuine that person was to me. And it's just like, no. But before I do start, literally, we don't talk to each other, me and this girl. We don't have each other on socials. But if this video does come her way, Girl, we don't got no bad beef. I be seeing her in the mall sometimes, and I literally like I don't look at her no ways. Like, you know, she to me she's just another person. Like, she literally at this point she's just a stranger on the street, and that's not to be disrespectful towards her. It's just like when I cut off somebody, it's like it's done for me. Like, for me in my head, you don't really exist. Like, you get what I mean? Because it's like I'm not gonna hold no grudges towards you. Like, I just want to move on with my life. So like, to me, you're a stranger. So babe, we don't have no beef. If you see this video, please, I beg, let's not make it a bigger issue than it is. This has happened over 3 years ago now. We're adults. This whole situation started when we were high school. So let's move on, you know? So yeah, let's get into the story time. So I'm only gonna give y'all big events that happen where like I felt like, you know, are you really genuine to me? Are you really my friend? Do you mess with me type of thing? Or do you secretly not like me? Like, you know, type thing. So because if I give y'all everything, we gonna be here for hours. We not trying to do that. So yeah, what are we gonna call this girl? We're gonna call her Aaliyah. It's so crazy. I told one of my subbies, she's my friend. I know you're gonna be watching this video, but literally my friend Subby, because she subscribed, she my friend, you get it? Yeah, okay. So I told her I was gonna be telling this video. She gave me a name to call her, and I forgot because it was like 2 months ago. But sorry, girl. Next story time, just text me. I'm gonna choose the name you give me. I just forgot, my bad. But anyways, we're gonna call this girl Aaliyah. So backstory on me and Aaliyah. Me and Aaliyah had a friendship for 4 years, and we met in high school, grade 9. So if y'all knew me from before grade 9, I was super shy. Like, that's where my nickname even came from. My nickname is Shy, but you know, people who knew me later in life, y'all seen that? Y'all seen that? Don't be trying to act wonky with me right now. Like, anyways, but people who knew me later in life started calling me Shy. Like, I kind of cut off one of the Shy, but shy or shy, I don't really care, you know? So my nickname is Shy because like I was super shy, and as soon as I grew out of that, I started being super friendly. So I used to just talk to everybody. So that's how me and Aaliyah met. Like, I saw her at school and I was just like, hey girl, what classes you in? She told me what classes she in. I'm like, you want to go to lunch? She's like, yeah, girl, let's go to lunch. So literally we started going to lunch together. But me and her were never super close in the beginning of grade 9 because I was in a friendship group, and that friendship group was a really tight-knit friendship group. Like, we were like, anything that happens in this friendship group kind of stays in this friendship group. Nobody enters this friendship group, but we have friends outside of this friendship group, but they're not as close as anybody in this friendship group. You feel me? Okay. So yeah, so me and her would talk, but we weren't as close, right? So I started seeing that Aaliyah was doing little small gestures, and they were super nice gestures. Like, she would get me lunch, she would, like, you know, wait for me to go to lunch. Like, she was just being nice. So like, I'm thinking, yo, this girl's like really nice, like, you know. And this is why I say, guys, pray for discernment with everyone who enters your life. Pray to God and ask him, hey, is this someone that is supposed to be in this chapter with me right now? If not, God, please remove them. Because I'm telling y'all, like, even though I don't regret having a friendship with her, because it really taught me how to pick up on red flags right away, and it really like helped me navigate my friendships moving forward. Like, you know, where it's like right now I kind of have this weird thing with being able to detach from people really easily. Even though I will love you down, like, you will be my people them, but the minute I feel like you cross a boundary with me, or you just do something that I wouldn't do to you, detached. Like, you get what I mean? But with her, it took me so long to detach, and I feel like that was definitely a learning experience. So I don't regret the friendship, but just ask God, like, ask him to give you the discernment for people who come in your life, because people will trick you. And I don't necessarily think that she tricked me, I just think that she doesn't know how to navigate a friendship, you know. But not to say that I think she's a bad person. I don't genuinely think she's a bad person. I just think that she has some growing up to do, you know. But yeah, so back to the story. We we're friends, wasn't that close. The end of grade 9, semester 1, we started getting close. So we started getting close, started calling each other best friends now. So at this point, going into semester 2, we're already best friends, right? So semester 2 starts, and there is this new girl in my class. We're gonna call her Kesha. I'm gonna call her Kesha. As I said, no bad blood to anybody in this story. I'm just telling y'all how I was feeling at that point. But me and Kesha are actually cordial. We don't have a friendship, but we are cordial. It's really sad how our friendship ended, because I do think that she's a very genuine girl. I do think that she is very sweet. I think she's a very nice person, and she's a beautiful girl. Like, I literally see her on my For You page and I double tap. Like, I'm like, yeah, girl, you is very beautiful. Like, you know, it's so sad how our friendship ended based on lies. But, you know, I do honestly wish her all the best. Like, she's such a sweet girl. But yeah, so as I was saying, met this girl Kesha, and I just went up to her and started talking. I'm like, hey girl, you're new here, what's your name? She's like, my name's Kesha, I'm coming from this school, I transferred, you know, da-da-da, blase, blase, blase. So I'm like, you want to go to lunch with me and my best friend Aaliyah? She's like, yeah girl, let's go to lunch. You mother skunt, man, I can't talk now. Like, I'm trying to talk and I can't talk. So she's like, yeah, let's go to lunch. So we all went to lunch, introduced her to Aaliyah, and from that point on, we became a trio. It was me, Aaliyah, and Kesha. So I started peeping, a couple months go by, and I started peeping that Aaliyah and Kesha were linking up without me, and I was just like, I didn't do nothing to none of y'all. Like, it's not even like, oh, I had a fight with Kesha or I had a fight with Aaliyah. I literally didn't do anything to any of them. So I was like,
that's suspicious.
Yeah, it's fine.
That's weird.
Okay, just peeping the situation. But I'm like, when it comes to my friends, it like I'm not really I'm not really confrontational. I think I said that right. Guys, English is not my first language. I mean, it is, but broken English is my first language, okay? This is a little bit hard. I'm trying my best, okay? But yeah, I'm not really confrontational. Like, it takes me a while. Like, I'm a really observant person. I like to let things build, because I don't like to bring up things the first time, because maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I was on my period that day. Maybe I just had a headache that day. Maybe I was hungry that day. Like, I like to let things build so I can actually see, like, hey, you're not tripping, babe. It's been building. So yeah, so I literally was peeping them hanging out without me, and I would just let it build. Wasn't saying anything. So then Kesha texts me one day, and she's like, hey, Aaliyah's coming over to my house today, do you want to come? I just felt like, why didn't you text in the group chat? Because we had a group chat. Like, that means that you and Aaliyah already made plans to go to your house, and I'm just like the last minute invite because you guys didn't want me to feel a type of way when I saw the snaps. That's what I felt like. And I still feel like that, because it's like they were icing me out for absolutely no reason. Well, it wasn't no reason, because I'll tell y'all why. I understand why Aaliyah was icing me out, because she was hearing information that wasn't true.
Hey y'all, Editing Shot is back. I'm back in the cut with my twin. We be vibing. Hey. But anyways, I said Aaliyah. I meant Kesha. My bad. Back to the video.
But I feel like they were icing me out for absolutely no reason, right? So I'm like, yeah, no problem, because I was gonna address it with them at that point. Like, you know, I'm not an over the phone arguer, because you can't feel my emotions over the phone. You can't look at my face, you can't see my body language, and I can't do the same. And I'm easily ticked off, which I'm trying to work on, but I'm easily ticked off. So if you type something wrong, girl, we gonna have a problem. So I'm like, let's have this conversation in person. So I went over there, and I don't want to talk on Kesha's living situation, but honestly, when I tell you guys, it's nothing serious. The only reason why I don't want to talk on it is not my business to talk about, but when I tell y'all, it's like, what? When I heard what Aaliyah said I was like, But we'll get to that. Yeah, as I was saying, guys, but literally it's not even deep. Like, where her living situation is not even nothing bad. I just don't want to say because it's not my business. Like, you get what I mean? Her living situation at that time, like, it was just like, it's nothing serious. And I was like, fam, it's so crazy because her living situation didn't even come in my head as something weird because if y'all don't know, I grew up in Jamaica. I grew up in the hood, the ghetto, babe. The deep, deep trenches, the ghetto.
I'm in the ghetto. Ra-ta-ta-ta.
I grew up in the ghetto, so like, and this girl was not living in the ghetto. She was living, like, her living situation was nice to me, but apparently, Aaliyah said, we'll get into it. So we went to her house. We had the conversation where I told them, you know, I just feel like something's going on a little weird between you guys. And they were like, you know, my bad. We didn't mean to exclude you. Da da da. And I'm like, okay, cool. That's all they told me. I said, okay, cool. So that happened on the weekend. Monday now, I'm at school and I'm walking with my friends and I see Kesha walk past me. So I'm like, okay. And my friends literally peeped it because I didn't even peep her coming up, because if I did, I would have went up to her and I was like, hey girl, da da da, just talk to her as normal. But they peeped it. They were like, you and Kesha got beef? I'm like, no, not that I'm aware of. Like, you know, da da da. So I'm like, I mean, I guess I'll text her. I don't know if she didn't see me or whatever. I was like, it's weird, but we don't have no problems in my head. So I texted her when I was in class and I was like, hey girl, like, are you okay? And then she's like, oh, I just don't appreciate you talking about my situation. I'm so sorry if you guys were hearing running in the back. My cat's water fountain is plugged in, but I plugged it out, so I hope it wasn't bothering you guys. But yeah, as I was saying, so I'm just there like, huh? I'm so confused. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like she's basically like, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm like, I actually don't. So I'm like, you know what? As I said, I don't like to argue with my friends through text, so I just left it at that. I'm like, you know, I'll go ask Aaliyah about it because you and her and Aaliyah are besties at this point. So let me go ask Aaliyah because obviously she'd tell Aaliyah if something's going on, right? So I'm like, Aaliyah, what's going on? Like, you know, what did I call her? Kesha. Kesha is like telling me that I'm chatting about her and I'm so confused. And Aaliyah's gonna look me in my face and say, yeah, she just heard that like you were saying that like about her living situation, that like, you know, you thought it was bad. Aaliyah, babe, come here. If it was me, you, and Kesha there, and I didn't say it, and Kesha heard it, who said it, baby? Was it the ghost? Who said it? Was it the trees, the grass in the background? Who said it, baby? Cause I'm a little confused. If you confused and me confused and she confused, we all confused. We all contrizzled. And I'm just a little confused. Who said it, baby? Anyways, so at that point, I wasn't even putting two and two together. Like, yo, freaking Aaliyah is bringing false information. Cause literally, I saw Aaliyah in the morning and we talked about like her living situation. Now Aaliyah literally brought it up to me. She's like, yeah, like, you know, about her living situation, whatever. It wasn't, she didn't, and what I'll say, Aaliyah didn't even bring it up to me on a bad note. Like, she didn't say nothing wrong with it. She's like, oh, you know, da da da. I thought like, you know, like she'd say, I thought she lived in a house in the hills, right? Like something like that. She'd be like, you know, I thought she lived in a house in the hill. Like, I was kind of surprised to see where she lived. But she wasn't saying it on nothing bad. Like, she was just being like, oh, you know, like she, you know, like she gives off a very, Kesha gives off a very classy vibe. Like, you get what I mean? And I don't think there's nothing wrong with where she lives. Like, I literally don't think there was anything wrong with where she lived. And I literally said, oh, yeah, you know, I don't really think, like, I'm like, oh, I guess it's normal. Like, you get what I mean?
It's editing shy and I'm back again, back to back, maybe backstab the M's. But y'all probably like, why did you say you think it's normal? Like, you know, like it kind of sounded like I said that in a bad way. I didn't say it in a bad way. Literally, the reason why I said that is because in Jamaica, where based on where she lives, like I wasn't used to seeing that in Jamaica. Like, you know, like as I said, like we just lived in a raw ghetto, but like she had like a nicer situation. So I wasn't used to seeing that. So like I was like, yo, like I guess it's normal here. Like, you get what I mean?
Literally, that's all I said. I said, I guess it's normal. Because what the heck do you want me to say? What am I supposed to say? I literally said nothing bad. And I will literally say that Aaliyah told, like, when she came to me, she didn't say anything bad either, right? So I'm like, after me and Aaliyah done have that conversation, I walked away and I'm kind of putting two and two together. And I'm like, you brought up this girl's living situation to me this morning. And I literally said, I guess it's normal. Like, you get what I mean? Like, guys, I wish I could say where she lived, because if I tell you guys would be like, it's not that deep, because it's actually not that deep. There is no issue with where she was living. And as I said, where she was living was bougie compared to where I was coming from in Jamaica. You get what I mean? So how dare I to ever like talk about nobody's living situation when I was coming from the trenches, baby. Like, y'all don't even know what I went through with living in Jamaica. So I would never chat about nobody's situation. Like, you get what I mean? So I was just so mad about the situation. I was so mad that she would even think that like I would. And that's when I realized that it's like, yo, these people don't actually know me. They don't know my character. Like, you get what I mean? Because my friends right now, I'm telling you, there's certain things, especially my one friend that I'm really close with, I do believe there's certain things that if she was to hear that I said, she would really bat my name and be like, I don't know what you're talking about, because Shy doesn't even speak like that. You get what I mean? And I have friends who's literally like situation has happened and they came to me and be like, you know, da da da, and I'm like, fam, like I wouldn't even be there. I don't even like enjoy that crowd. And they're like, yeah, I know you wouldn't know about that, because that's not your type of crowd. You get what I mean? So it's like, that's when I realized like, yo, y'all don't actually know me. You get what I mean? So I'm going off topic. I'm so sorry, but yeah. So back to what I was saying. So yeah, so then after I called Aaliyah and Kesha, I caught them both in the hall, and I'm like, you know, like let's talk about the situation. So Kesha is like, as I said, Kesha very genuine girl. Kesha's gonna say how it is. Kesha's like, the point blank period, here's the facts, here's the receipt. So Kesha just said it in front of Aaliyah's face, and she's like, Aaliyah told me that you were talking about my living situation and talking about how it was bad.
Huh?
So I straight at Aaliyah, and I'm like, huh? I was like, you literally brought the situation up to me today, and I said, I guess it was normal. And you said I told this girl that I think her living situation was bad. Literally, she said that, Kesha said that, Aaliyah said that I can't chat to her because she lives dash. She lives dash. Like the place where she lives dash. Like she would kind of say, for example, she'd be like, if this was the case, but this was not the case, she'd be like, she told Kesha that I said, Kesha can't chat to me because Kesha lives in the hood. Huh? Babe, I'm coming from the trenches. What are you talking about right now? What are you actually saying to me? So I'm just there like, fam, what are you talking about? You know Aaliyah's gonna look me in my face and be like, yeah, that's what you said. I just feel like you said it's normal, and I don't know, that just sounds like literally this girl starts talking in circles and be like, oh, I just feel like, oh, this kind of sound like you said this, but I know you didn't say this, but I'm gonna say it kind of sounds like you said this. Listen, man, rubbish. Like, what are you actually chatting about right now, fam? When I tell y'all, I was looking at Aaliyah like I actually couldn't say nothing. I actually had nothing to say, and I think that's probably why. Because after this situation, me and Kesha, like, we stopped talking. I think because I didn't defend myself in that moment, Kesha probably thought it was the truth. But it wasn't even like, oh, like, I know she's telling the truth, I didn't say anything. I was so gobsmacked that you could be looking me in my face right now and lying to me about what I said. I literally walked away. Like, I had nothing to say. In my mind, like, Aaliyah was cut off. Aaliyah was cut off, and I knew Kesha was gonna cut me off because I'm like, I'm not gonna explain myself because I feel like if me and you are friends, you should know my character. But I'm like, we're not that close, so it's like I thought we were close at one point, but obviously the situation shows that we're not that close because you don't know me. So let me walk away. I walked away. Now a couple months go by, me and Aaliyah, since that situation, me and Kesha never really made up. A couple years later, we did talk about it a little bit. Yeah, we did talk about it, but we never really made up to be friends. But a couple months go by, me and Aaliyah don't chat. Aaliyah text, I think, I don't know, no. She saw me in person at lunch because there was a point where it's like I was going through a lot, like, you know, mentally, and I just stopped hanging out with all my friends. Like, I used to just go to lunch by myself, like, you know, literally I would talk to my friends in school, but when it was lunchtime, I just wanted peace of mind. I just wanted to chill and go to lunch by myself. So there was one day I was coming from lunch by myself, and she was with her friends, and she told them, like, you know, y'all go, I'ma chat to Shy, right? As I said, I haven't chatted to this girl in months. We're not friends at this point, right? So she came and she's like, you know, I just feel like the whole situation was a misunderstanding. You know, like, me and Kesha are cool. And I feel like if she could understand where I was coming from, I feel like you should understand where I was coming from too. And as I said, like, the situation, it happened a couple months ago, that it's like, it was not fresh in my mind. And I'm a very like, I don't, when it comes to bad situation, I don't want to keep a hold of them because, like, I don't like to keep grudges. So I actually even forgot how the situation really played out. So, like, you know, she apologized, and I was like, you know, cool, we could try this friendship thing again, right? So we ended up being friends again. So that was the first situation that happened where I was like, like, you know, but I was like, okay, maybe a little crack in the door for you to slip in. She definitely slipped her way right in, back again. So at this point now, that was in grade 9. This second situation, hold on, let me grab my notepad and see what was the second situation. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about one of the factors that I think broke our friendships, in regards to her being boy crazy / girl crazy. So let's talk about the boy crazy part first. So she is the type where it's like she would get in a relationship and just lose all her senses. And it's like, babe, I know that I be like in a relationship sometimes and I be like, you know, acting a little wonky, but I don't be losing my senses, and not that early on. Should I say this? I don't want to talk about people's business, but anyways, I'm not going to talk about her business of what she used to do, but like, she used to do some crazy boy crazy stuff where I'm just like, scary. This is giving very scared. I'm scared. Like, she used to actually be boy crazy, but I don't want to get into the stuff that she used to do because, like, I'd be embarrassing. I'd be embarrassed if somebody told, if I was doing the stuff that she did and somebody told somebody, like, YouTube, that I used to do that stuff, I'd be embarrassed. So I'm not gonna say what she used to do, but she used to do some crazy stuff. So, like, we the second thing that she did where I was just like, are you my friend? Literally, so we literally had a dance recital coming up. We used to go to we had a library close to our school, and we went there for like a couple weeks, and we would practice this dance because we were planning to go on a dance recital. They were gonna take us there, right? We weren't gonna perform or nothing, but like, she knew how much I love dance, and like, you know, she came there so-called for me, right? But it wasn't for me. It was to see her man. And it was to watch her man take the bus every day. The man would even take the bus with her. He would take the bus whenever he would even chat to her. He would not even chat to her in person. They only chat through messages. They never chat in person. Like, the whole time we were going there, I never seen them chat in person. But so yeah. She so-called said it was for me, but it wasn't for me. It was for literally to watch her man take the bus. So we were at the dance recital now, and it was the day to go to the dance recital, and you know, we planned, we're like, yeah, we're gonna go 30 minutes before the dance recital, literally it was only like the other people who were going to the dance recital, I didn't talk to them like that. So I was depending on her to be there because, like, you know, like we already planned this, like, you know, you're my friend, I'm gonna feel comfortable if you're there. And we were going a little distance, so it's like I want to have somebody that I know be with me, right? And keep in mind, she knows how important dance is to me. So I really wanted to go to this recital. Well, I really wanted to go to this recital so I can see things, you know, pick up some brother, you can't chat, mama? No, sir. Brother, me go bite my tongue. I can't talk. Anyways, she knew how bad I wanted to go to this recital, right? So to pick up some like choreography, like, you know, just have the experience, right? 30 minutes before we were supposed to go to the dance recital, her man, I heard when he said it, he's like, yo guys, you know, our boss, because he would be on the other side of the library and we'd be like, you know, just chilling, doing our thing. But as I said, they never talked to each other, so they were just chatting, right? So I heard her man like said to his friends, he's like, yo, our boss about to come in 30, like, you know, y'all taking that one? So then obviously his friends said yes or whatever. This girl's gonna turn around, look at me and be like, oh, Shy, you know, my mom said I can't go to the dance recital anymore. I'm just gonna take the bus that's coming in 30 minutes. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? And I'm literally like, because her mom was strict, but literally if I was going somewhere, her mom would always let her go. So I'm like, okay, fam, like, call your mom. I'll just talk to her. Like, you know, I'll tell her, like, you know, like, or even the lady who was there, like, who was taking us, she's like, if your mom, like, because she heard when she said that, her mom, she's like, yo, if your mom needs to talk to, you know, an adult to make sure that you'll be fine, I will talk to her, like, you know, if that doesn't work, if Shy can't convince her, right? So I'm like, yeah, like, I even though I knew the minute I hopped on that phone, her mom would have said yes. But, which I don't even think her mom said no in the first place. But I'm like thinking like, yo, like if your mom actually said no, let me chat to her, you know? She's like, no, I just don't want to ask, you know, I don't want to bother her, all of this, So I'm like, I look at her and I'm like, fam, are you really bailing on me so you could take the bus with this man that doesn't even chat to you? Like, it's not like you guys are going on the bus holding hands or even having a conversation. You're so calm, man, right now. You're about to bail on me for something that we had planned for weeks, to sit on the bus and look at this man at the back of the bus? She's like, no, my mom actually said no. So I said, okay, call her. Call her then. If she said no, call her. She's like, no, I just don't want to bother her. So now I'm pissed. Because I'm like, what? Like, listen, I'm one for if my man calls, I'm leaving to some certain extent, like, you know, but it has to be like, okay, my friends have other friends type thing. Like, if it's just me and my friend, if I'm leaving with my man, he has to take her home too. Like, I'm not leaving my friend just there. But that's when my man's actually calling me for us to go somewhere and there's other people for my friends to be with. I'm not just leaving my friend by herself to go and not even chat to my man, to hop on a bus that my man is not even gonna acknowledge me on. Huh? Babe, that's not your man. And there's been so many instances where it's like, I wish I could tell you guys how dumb things that she used to do over a man, where you guys could actually understand where my frustration was with her. But there's so many times that man would do her stuff and it's literally be like, yo, babe, that is not your man. I promise you, he's for the gang. He's not your man. But okay, so I'm pissed now and she's there trying to chat to me. I said, yo, Aaliyah, in all honesty, just move for me still. Like, it's not even one of those, like, I actually don't even want to chat to you for the rest of the time. If you want to go wait for your 30-minute bus, go wait over there. Like, don't chat to me. So now I'm pissed. Like, she's still trying to convince me. I just walked away from the situation. Next day comes, she, like, you know, she apologized and she's like, oh, my mom actually said no. I can't beat up the girl and like be like, okay, show me the call log, So I'm like, okay, cool. Now I'm peeping at you again. You got me a little bit when I stopped peeping at you, but now I'm looking at you sideways again. So couple years, so this happened in grade 11, grade 12 now. I was moved. So fast forward to grade 12 now. My grade 12 year, I ended up finishing school a semester early. So I was out of school since January. So I ended up moving out that April. That March, either the end of March or the beginning of April. So I ended either the end of March or the beginning of April. So I ended up moving out. I think it was the end of that March. I ended up moving out that March, and me and my mom were going through a rocky spot. But y'all don't come for my mama now, cause my mom right now, that is my best friend. That is my rock, literally. But you know, we all go through times, like, you know. So me and my mom were going through it at that time, and I just felt like I needed to have my own space. So the way that I moved out, me and my mom kind of like moved out on a rocky spot where we were kind of upset with each other, right? As I said, that's my best friend there. She my girl. I love my mom. Oh, I'm literally a mommy's girl. Like, I love my mom so bad. But like, as I said, at that point, we weren't chatting to each other. Like, we were upset at each other. So I didn't want her to know where I was going because I was being petty, right? So, you know, a couple days after I moved out, I was staying with my other best friend. And my mom called me and she was telling me, yo, like, why would you move out to go live with a man? Huh? What, girl? A man? Me moving out for the first time and I'm gonna move out to go live with a man? Literally at that point, me and my ex, we weren't even together for a year yet. I think we were together for a couple months at that point. A couple months at that point. We didn't hit a year yet. So I'm like, what is you chatting about? Literally. So when she told me that, I was like, you know, I didn't want to really go back and forth with her. So I was like, I'm not moving out to go live with a man. Like, don't worry about where I am. I am fine. I'm safe, you know, da-da-da. So that whole situation happened, and I thought that it was my sister that told my mom that I was moving out to live with a man, right? So if y'all don't know, me and my sister are like this. We're like body and bench. If you see her, you see me. Me itch up on our nose corner. Me itch up behind our ears. Me itch up in our eyelash. Literally, that's my best friend. Like, right? Like, that's her, my mom, my siblings, my parents. As I was saying, my sister is like, if y'all don't know, my sister is my best friend. Like, and I was upset with my sister because I thought that my sister was the one that told my mom. Because I'm like, I wasn't even thinking that Aaliyah told my mom. Even though the day that I was moving out, Aaliyah came to my house and she said, I left when she came there, but she's like, she just came there to diffuse the situation. But when I tell you guys the amount of faith that I had in this friendship, it did not come to my mind once that it could be Aaliyah, right? So I talked to my sister about it. I'm like, you know, why did you tell my mom that I moved out to go live with a guy when you know that's not true? And my sister is like, why would I tell mommy that you're gonna go live with a man? I literally know where you're going. I know where you are right now. We're in constant communication. Your friend Aaliyah told mommy that. I said, what? She's like, yeah, girl. I was literally here when she told her. I said, yeah? Say no more. Beep, bop, boop, 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 boop. Ring up Aaliyah. I'm like, Aaliyah, where'd you tell my mom I was gonna go live? She's like, oh, I don't know where you're living. So why did you tell my mom that I was gonna go live with mom? Silence. I hear hysterical crying. But I tell you guys, you would think I shoved a knife in her side. She starts hysterically crying. And she's like, oh my gosh, I'm just so over this. You're always putting that man over me. And da-da-da-da-da, and da-da-da-da-da. Literally turning into the Hulk at this point. You're always putting that man over me. Why does it matter where I told your mom you were going? Why are you choosing him over me? And I'm so tired of this. You're stressing me out. You're causing me anxiety. Literally just being like, I'm causing her anxiety. I'm stressing her out. All of this, da-da-da. So I'm on the phone like, I'm not saying nothing. Then I hear her mom grab the phone. Her mom's like, listen, Shy, you're stressing my daughter out, and I don't know what this situation's about, but I don't want you to come and stress my daughter out because she doesn't deserve this. And then she hung up the phone, and I was like, okay. Because at that point, she has done, like, I only told you guys 2 things, but I'm telling y'all, she used to do little things where I'm just peeping at her. So it's like, you have done stuff at this point where it's like, I've already been peeping at you sideways, so I'm ready to cut you off. So that's what I did. I cut her off. Like, I'm like, we don't have to chat about the situation. You gave your mom the phone. It's like, it's over from that, because it's like, me and her mom were cool, and now it's like, if your parent doesn't like me, I can't be your friend, because I feel like I'm such a sweet girl to parents. Like, and I try to hold a good reputation with your parents. I try to be an image of a friend that they can see you around. I don't ever want to be the friend that your parents don't want you to hang around with. I don't want that reputation, and now you gave me that reputation, so we can't be friends. So I cut her off. Couple weeks passed. Her mom calls me, and her mom's like, hey, Shy, I don't know what happened between you and Aaliyah, but I feel like you guys need to talk, because Aaliyah has just been sad in her room, and you know, I know you guys' friendship meant a lot to her. And I was like, honestly, Miss Aaliyah, Miss A, we're gonna call her mom Miss A. I said, honestly, Miss A, I don't think me and Aaliyah have anything to talk about. I feel like what she did really hurt my feelings, and what she did was not honest. Like, I feel like there's no excuse for what she did, you know? And then she's like, okay, just let me give her the phone. She gave her the phone. Keep in mind, I'm at work and I'm wasting my time with this conversation. She gave her the phone, and I'm like, fam, Aaliyah, what is your issue? Like, why would you do that? This girl's gonna tell me that it was because she feels like I'm putting my boyfriend over her. Literally, that could be so far from the truth, because I remember, like, literally me and my ex would have a conversation, and he would tell me, like, we'd have conversations about how highly I hold my friends, and he will tell me, like, you know, you need to be more careful with how, like, you hold them, how highly you hold them and stuff like that. Just be careful. But literally, we'd have conversations about that. So I know I was not putting my man over her, and I should have, because what that man did for me in the span of us being together, and how much we helped each other grow from both parties, he contributed more in my life in a year than what you did in 4 years, because you were genuinely not there to help me grow as a person, but he was. So I should have definitely put him over you, babe. I should have did it, but I didn't. But anyway, she's like, you know, I feel like you put him over me, like, you know, I'm sorry, can we try again, da. So I'm like, honestly, like, I don't think I have the mental capacity to give you everything I gave you in the friendship before. But if you want to try again, we could try again, but it will not be the same. She's like, okay, cool, we could work on it. I'm like, okay. And it genuinely wasn't the same after that. Like, it was like, we wouldn't talk to each other as much. We'd hang out once in a while. Like, we would try. Like, we were genuinely trying to get back to where we was. But I was mentally just done with that. Like, you know. But I still said, you know, I will consider her as a friend to some extent. Right? Okay. This is a situation that, like, all hell broke loose. And I was like, yeah, you're done. You're done. KO'd. It's done. So there was this girl. What are we gonna call her? We're gonna call her, I take you to the candy shop, I let you lick the lollipop. I don't know, when I think of her, that song came in my head, but not for that reason, y'all. No, but it's because of her name. We're gonna call her Jelly Rancher. And the reason why we're calling her Jelly Rancher is because her name is similar to a candy. So yeah. So we're gonna call her Jelly Rancher. So Aaliyah posted me on her story one day, and Jelly Rancher snapped back, and Jelly Rancher was like, yo, give me her snap type thing, right? So Aaliyah's like, yo, my friend wants your snap, can I give it to her? And I was like, I wasn't thinking nothing of it. Guys, when I tell you guys, I'm a little bit naive to when people actually, like, fancy me or is trying to move to me. You really have to open your mouth and be like, I want you. And I'll be like, oh, okay. Like, you know, so when she asked for my snap, I'm just thinking she thinks I'm pretty. Like, you know, so I'm like, yeah, go ahead, give her my snap. So she gave Jelly Rancher my Snap now, and Jelly Rancher started texting me, and you know, we ended up so that we like ended up talking on the phone, right? And it's like I knew she was gay because obviously, she looks like well, you can't judge a good book by its cover, but it's like I could tell, kind of thing, but not judging. Just she kind of let it be known that like she like the cootie cat, you know. So, but obviously I wasn't on that wavelength because I had a man. And plus, you know, but I wasn't on that, obviously I wasn't on that wavelength, right? Because I was in a whole relationship. So, me and her started texting, and like, you know, she was cool people. Like, genuinely, Jelly Rancher was cool people. So, me and her ended up that we get on the phone, and like, you know, she's kind of telling me that she's feeling me, I told her like, you know, hey, I have a man, you know, so it's not really that for me, but you're cool people, like, you know, if you're looking for a friendship direction, we go friendship direction. She's like, yeah, cool, you know. So after that, we were friends, like, you know, we would chat all the time, but she never like moved towards me that certain way after that conversation, like, you know. And I respect that. If I tell you like, hey, I'm not interested, and you're able to actually, you know, be like, you know, somewhat of a friend with me, or be like just cordial with me, I feel like that's a respectful thing to do. Or you just don't chat to me at all. And she was okay just being friends, right? So one day she called me, and she's like, she literally called me out of the blue, and she's like, yo, okay, wait, before we get to that. So literally when Jelly Rancher added me and she told me like, you know, she was feeling me, I asked, I said her name, sorry. When Jelly Rancher added me, I was like, yo, she kind of looks like Aaliyah's type, right? So I'm like, in girls, so I'm like, yo, like, Aaliyah, did you and Jelly Rancher have anything? She's like, no, that's Crody, that would never happen, So as I got to know Jelly Rancher is telling me like, yeah, she tried to talk to me a couple of times, but she's not my type, like, you know. She basically said, I like girls that look like you, and me and Aaliyah look completely different from each other. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. So then she's like, yeah. So I peeped that, and I was like, why would Aaliyah then tell me that you guys had nothing when she was constantly trying to talk to you, and even recently? And I was like, does she think I like this girl or something? Like, and it's like, Aaliyah knew I was in a relationship. And when I tell you guys, I was, oh, my man, like, I was all about my man at that point. So I'm like, why would you lie to me about that? But okay. So I don't know if she was embarrassed because the girl wasn't trying to talk to her. I don't know, but I'm your best friend. Like, don't, like, you get what I mean? So, then one day randomly, so I peeped that, didn't say anything about it. One day randomly, Jelly Rancher called me. As I said, we were friends at this point. So one day randomly, Jelly Rancher called me, and she's like, yo, I don't think Aaliyah's your friend still. And I'm like, yo, why do you say that? She's like, cause not gonna lie, Aaliyah chat sugar, honey, iced tea about you, fam. So I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, oh, like, you know, Aaliyah be telling me like, you act dumb for your man. Like, you're like not leaving your man. Like, you know, you act stupid for him. Like, you just be doing stupid things. Like, you know, because obviously Jelly Rancher is telling Aaliyah that she's trying to chat to me, and like, I'm not moving that type of way with her. So Aaliyah's telling Jelly Rancher that I'm dumb for that man and I will never leave him. And babe, you were right at that point. I was not gonna leave him. I wasn't acting dumb. I was acting very sensible because that man was my man. Like, the heck? Anyways, so she's telling Jelly Rancher like all of this stuff, and Jelly Rancher is like, I'm not gonna lie, the way how she chats about you has me looking sideways at her, because y'all are supposed to be best friends and she chats about you like she doesn't like you. So I'm like, I get at Jelly Rancher right away. I'm like, yo, don't tell me nothing to my ear. What are you telling me right now? Like, that's my best friend. She would never chat nothing about me. So she's like, yeah, say no more. Go on mute. I'm gonna call her on my other phone. Beep, bop, boop, 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 boop. Ring up Aaliyah now. And she's like, yo, Aaliyah, what were you saying about Shy? She's like, Aaliyah's there in the back like, Sham, she be acting so dumb for that man, and she's not gonna leave him, and I just feel like just chatting shit about me. Like, she said other things, right? And I'm just on the phone, gobsmacked. So I'm like, yeah, So Jelly Rancher hung up the phone with her, and Jelly Rancher's like, yo, not gonna lie, true say, I'm gonna cut her off, because I feel like if she could chat about you as her best friend like that, I don't think she can be no genuine type of friend with me. I think you should cut her off too. And I'm like, fam, you ain't gotta say nothing but a word. She was cut off since I heard she's done. Since I heard her answer that phone and started getting at me, she was cut off, right? So that just goes to show, like, I don't know what it is that she hated about my relationship so bad. When I tell you guys, I never let my relationship with my ex get in the way of me and her friendship. I'm not the type to get around my friends and just be like, you know, the whole conversation has to revolve around me and my man, or like, you know, like, I'm not even the type to tell my friends like what I'm going through with my man, because at the end of the day, we're like at that point when we were together, me and him would fight and we'll be good. We will be good. But if I tell my friends what happened, they're gonna be upset at him, and it's like, babe, I'm going back to my man because we just had a little argument. I was just hungry, and now you're upset at my man and I'm good with him. So I literally would not tell my friends stuff that I was going through with him. Like, I would, like, you know, you get what I mean? So it's like, there was absolutely no reason for her to like have an issue with my relationship.
Hey you guys, it's Editing Shy. And the reason why her talking about me leaving my man was so odd to me is because the man never cheated on me, he never hit me, he never raised his voice at me. Like, the man never did nothing. So I was like, why do you want me to leave my man so bad? Like, it was just so odd, you know?
So anyways, so she's cut off in my head. So then, you know, I haven't talked to her for a couple of days. She's been texting me, I haven't been answering. So she called me, I answered. I'm like, yo, what? She's like, oh, something could have been wrong with me. Why aren't you answering your phone? Don't come here with the gaslighting, babe. So I'm like, yo, true say, there's nothing for me to talk to you about, right? I'm here on the phone with her. Like, there's nothing for me to talk to you about. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, yo, Jelly Rancher told me that you were talking stuff about me. And she's like, why would you believe Jelly Rancher? You're gonna believe her over your best friend? I would never do that to you. Never! So I'm like, babe, I literally heard you. Silence. She's like, what do you mean you heard me? I'm like, I heard you. I was on her other phone and I heard you chatting about me. She's like, you know my family situation. This is literally what got me. She's like, you know my family situation. Why would you be listening to me on the other line? That's so weird. That's so weird. And I'm just like, what family situation? What are you chatting about? I'm like, honestly, goodbye. Like, we're no longer friends. I literally was like, fam, we're no longer friends. Goodbye. And I hung up, and we have never chatted since that. And funny enough, Jelly Rancher wasn't chatting to her either, and me and Jelly Rancher caught up like a couple days after, and Jelly Rancher is like, yo, she's been texting on my phone every single day trying to talk to me again. And I told her, like, I'm not talking to you. She's been trying to talk to me. So you're trying to run down gyal, and you're not trying to run down your best friend of 4 years when you did something wrong? Okay, girl. Okay. But yeah, guys. And then after that, I seen her in the mall a couple of times. As I said, I don't have no beef for her. Wish her all the best in life. Genuinely do. Yeah. I wish everybody in this story all the best in life. You know, I don't talk to really nobody in this story. Because I'm just in a new chapter. Like, you know, you get what I mean? I'm in my journey of taking my walk with Christ more seriously. So I just feel like that leaves very little space for error, for people to try to, you know, get me out. Because, girl, y'all be trying my patience. And I'm not a one for the trying my patience, girl. Listen, God working on me. So don't try me, okay? But anyways, yes, guys, that is the end of this story. I hope you guys liked. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Bye, y'all.